Okay, what's up, everybody? Let's start in. Cool to be live again, as always. Quick sound test. We check. Let's start in. If everything is working. Cool, yes, sounds good. And here? Yes. Sounds good. Cool. What's up? Yeah. Today we're going to animate fire. Let's animate some fire. Excited for that? So I haven't animated fire before properly. Like I animated lightning a little bit more, but not so much fire. So I'm super excited to explore that. Yeah, can't wait. Cool for everyone who's joining. I mean, let's jump into our animation canvas, into the canvas. And this was a little study I did yesterday before going to sleep. Like sometimes you don't find so much the time to animate. And then, like before going to sleep, just animating like last thing just to feel good. So this was a little bit the situation yesterday. Yeah, was fun. Like it's a little explosion, fire explosion from Mob Psycho. Can show you in a second. So I did a little study. And yeah, that's a little bit the plan for today, to do a couple of studies and see like how do we animate fire, what's important when animating fire. So do a little deep dive. Yeah, and get slowly a feeling and what's important when animating fire. That's a little bit the plan. Cool. Cool. And the cool thing is also, like for example, if you're animating characters all the time, with fire you're a little bit more free just to be more like or improvise more. Like you don't have to be sorry, so much you don't have to have so much an eye on anatomy. So it's a little bit more free, fun. And with that, let's go in. So I have a couple of reference pulled out here from Sakugaboru and checked a little bit like how differently can you animate fire. And we have different examples here. For example, this little scene here. And I mean, you can animate fire in so many different ways. I like this fireball here. Looks super cool. I mean, here it's a little bit brutal, we have to say, and like his hair here are amazing. Maybe I should also think about like a hair like that. But yeah, super cool inspiration on how you can animate fire, or even these little sparks here. I find also super cool. Also something to learn of. And then if you go frame by frame through it, we can observe like how is the fire here animated. And how does it behave? What are the shapes used here? And get a little bit the feeling on animating fire. I feel like this shape here you see a lot when animating fire. What I observed so far, that you have this little curve here, and then like a little bit these more straighter lines here, and like these zigzag shapes here. Yeah, also here again, I mean, you have it here, you have here like this curve shape, here this curve shape, and then a straight line. You have this relationship tends to repeat a little bit with fire animations. And then, of course, you have him, and he's not feeling so good. Cool, then we have another one here. What's happening here? Okay, you see like a lot of people who are suffering from fire. I mean, I think we don't need this one for now. Let's check out this one. Like, ooh, this already looks cool. Where you have like this firepower here. And then the smear frame here. Cool. And yeah, often like these frames are just visible for a couple of seconds and they look already amazing. I feel like also, like we almost, it looks, yeah, like a face here we have in that fire smear frame. And then these little sparks. And again, here this round shape and then the straight shape. Super cool to see. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Here's the one, the study I mentioned, I did quickly yesterday. Was from this scene here. From Mob Psycho. And yeah, already learned a lot from it. Can also go through frame by frame and take a little bit the liberty. For example, if we compare, first I had this frame, I changed it a little bit, so you don't have to like copy it like one to one, but take a little bit just as inspiration, or I just here as a kind of an impact frame. I make the whole canvas bright, and then get back to that shape here. Yeah. So these studies can be super helpful. Then we have this super cool also from Mob Psycho, this super cool transformation here with a lot of cool shapes. I also wanted to observe. Looks a little bit even that like lightning, but I like how the flame is here and then it expands. Looks also dope. Dope, dope, dope. Cool. Then we have something happening here. Again, this one. I think I remember this episode, like where he's protecting now himself with his like abilities. Looks also cool. Let's go frame by frame. I mean, yeah, often you just have to go frame by frame through these animations to learn properly from them. So we have this one here and just like this impact frame. And then this one here. I feel like I also want to experiment with something like that, where you only like have, for example, an impact frame, and then you have like this sketched line in your animation where character slowly, yeah, is getting like all the heat and a little bit disappearing even from the fire. So maybe we're also going to try something like that out. And then this one here looks also cool. Again, you see these sketch lines here, super interesting to see. Definitely something to try out. And then again, here's super cool fire shapes. Again, if you go a couple frame by frame, for example, we observe this shape here. This now goes up and transforms here a little bit. And you have these fire sparks a little bit like here also, or here in the beginning. Cool, 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 cool. And then I just pulled up some references. So it's super good always when learning something new or learning like to have different kind of reference. So I pulled up a little bit like real reference. That's also always important to check that out. And yeah, just fire. I mean, everything you want to animate, almost in any case, in a lot of cases, there's also like a slow motion reference for it. So just search on YouTube and you find something. And from that, we already can also do a wonderful study, like how it's falling down here and how the fire here is behaving. And going up here, like you have also these little sparks here. And ooh, this shape also looks cool. From that, we could also do a wonderful little study. And yeah, a couple of these here. For example, this little fire here. And then, I mean, if you would just watch it like that, would be a little bit hard to do an animation from it. But if we just stop it and go observe, for example, take one flame here, for example, this shape here, and then go frame by frame through it, we can learn a little bit better what's happening here. So we have that curve here, could almost say S curve, that is going up now, going up, going even more up, now splitting in different parts. Now we have a curve in that direction. Remember before, like we had it in that direction. And with that, just take a little element from this reference, and you already can learn so much from going frame by frame through it, and then do a little study from it. That's always super helpful. Super helpful. Cool. Similar here. Slow motion. And again, it's also cool to see like how I would say elegant the fire moves in slow motion. Looks beautiful. And then how strong and hectic and aggressive almost it looks when played in normal speed. Oof. Looks also cool. Super cool. Super cool. Okay, with that, so first thing, look up for reference, and then we can now doing a little bit study. I'm also excited how this will turn out. So it could turn out in a total mess, or we succeed. But if you make mistakes, that's a good sign. So yeah, you have a lot of room. See it positive. You have a lot of room for improvement. Okay, so this was the one from yesterday. So let's create a new one. And on my background paper frame, I just want to make the background a little bit darker. Choose any color you like. I wouldn't say just choose a darker color. I think that helps. So yeah, you have a little bit easier time just with the contrast. Of course, you could also sketch it out and sketch out flames. Maybe we're doing that also in a second, but let's start something with that. And also what I'm going to do, I'm taking the selection tool here and like that, and then I'm going to fill that with the color and build with that a little bit the animation. That's just time. We just save time with that. Of course, you could also sketch it out like your flames, but then you have to take a lot more care of of your lines, of your line quality. And with the selection tool, you're just a little bit more faster and also even precise. But depends then on the style. Like how do you want your flames to look like? Like in the reference before, we just saw like the sketch line in fire. So yeah, just try out what you like and what not, and maybe we just going in here in one and see where do we take something from. So I want to first sketch flames a little bit more simple, so let's see like which frame we're going to take. Maybe even this one here. And let's see if we can make it look the way we want. What is there to learn? Just splitting up my screen here. And with that, just go in and have some fun. And of course, now with the lasso tool here, I try to mimic a little bit the shapes here. So I'm trying to pull up also a lot of straight lines, not too curved, and have these zigzag shapes. I think that's important. And now just choose a color here and fill it in. And now it's really the time to experiment a little bit. So let's go to the next frame, and you don't have to sketch like every frame. So I'm skipping a couple here and see just what's happening here. So we have that motion like inwards. And then go through it and check it out. If you're happy with it, if you're not happy with it. And yeah, slowly start to animate more and more fire. Maybe like that. And maybe we're going even to add a little bit here. Couple of sparks. Cool. Cool. Maybe here a couple of sparks. Nah. So maybe like that. Maybe this looks a little bit too random, so we won't really consider the sparks we animated before and let them move a little bit in a direction. Maybe like that. Yeah, better. And now everything moves more forward here. And for now, I think I'm going to change quickly. Onion skin settings. Only to see the previous frame here. I think that's enough right now. Cool. So things now go even more right in here. Inside here. Maybe like that for now. Yeah, if you have any question, let me know. Or anything you want to see here, or yeah, something that would help you, let me know. Okay. Cool. Maybe go a little bit more inside. Maybe like that. Cool. Next one. So here it's just changing a little bit. And you have maybe we're going also to add a couple more sparks here. Like that. Cool. And maybe now this one here. Wrong color. And with that, it's also like, it's not really only about the motion or the thing, like the actual how it looks like, but yeah, slowly observing like these shapes and trying to mimic them and see yeah, how they move, like how are the frames built, and with that slowly develop that feeling on what's important when animating fire. Cool. Maybe we want to make it a little bit bigger and move it a little bit here. So we have that nice center here still. So everything is turning around here. Maybe like that. Cool. Nice. Cool. I mean, with this one we have to go a little bit in here. Like that. And then we have this big one here. And now things slowly disappear. I mean, this we will see that often. And now here already starting like a new animation, but we're going to stick to the one we have here and make things here now disappear slowly. And with that, yeah, we have that little like fun spiral, like the spiral animation. And I think it's working good. And with that, another thing you can do then, of course, to give it a little bit more depth, is to play a little bit more with the tones here that you're using, or like with the shadow. So we could make it a little bit more red here, maybe like that, and then shadow it properly. So, like that. So we activating this little transparent here. So we're locking. So we can't fade outside of the shape we already have in here. So we just take again the lasso tool, marking the things, and then painting in a little bit the shadow or the color you want to add. And with that, it already starts more to feel a little bit more dynamic, more lively. And like this one here, can paint in like that. Probably you know that feature also, like similar to Photoshop, is have the same layer option. But I mean, I think a lot of animations programs have this layer locking possibility. I think even Procreate has it. Now let's go to the next one here. Cool. And like I said, it's always like super fun to learn how to animate fire, how to animate lighting, because you're a little bit more free in terms of, like I said before, you don't have to learn anatomy perfectly to sketch these shapes. So it's a little bit more relaxing at some points. And also great variety, or gives you a good variety of studying and learning new things to yeah, not always sketching only figures or animating characters or whatever you are learning right now, but yeah, to have a certain variety in it. And a cool thing then also is that you things you can learn here, sometimes even like from timing, from the rhythm, from the dynamic, you can then also take over to your studies, like for example on how to sketch anatomy or something like that. Cool, looks fun. I mean, I would say we have animated it now on once, so we could space it a little bit better out, but I feel like as a study it's super cool learning more about how to animate fire. Super, super fun. Let's go to the next one. Or we mix it even up, like animation studies and like real studies. So maybe we're taking this one now here, and let's see, like maybe this part here, I like this one, what that's falling down here. And maybe we do this one here. Cool, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Maybe zooming in here a little bit and create a new animation layer here. Again, let's set our background here a little bit darker, so you have immediately a better contrast. I like to make it a little bit blue, so it looks cool, like with your flame shapes here, like with your flame colors on it. And then let's start. Let's see how this one will go. Will be also a little surprise for me. But let's see, and maybe let's see how round are we. Like this shape here now looks super round. Maybe we're going to do something like that now for the beginning. And let's stick to one color first again. And then let's see how this one will turn out. Maybe now here. Maybe make it a little bit more like that into that direction. A bit bigger. Then this one, bring here. A little bit like the bouncing ball we animated the last time. So similar here in the terms of the process right now. So like that. And now we have that. Also similar, like that's fun to see. Like the squash and stretch we applied to a bouncing ball. Almost the same, like in terms of the shape. So we have that round shape here. Let's see if we can, like, we're animating it like that it's still understandable that it's fire. Excited for that. Now we go here, so it expands. Like that. And then we have that curved shape here expanding. And let's see if we like just can use like one color and it's still understandable. But we have to change something in a second. And now we also have some sparks here. Okay, I jumped. Let's go back again. Where were we? Was it here? No. Where was my scene? My scene was here in the beginning. So we were here. Like that. So I think I also want immediately to add these little sparks here. The shape is not so important here right now. So it can be shaped like that, shaped like that, shaped like that. Just try out what looks good here. Maybe like this now. Like that. And now we have more sparks already. And the flame is also expanding even more. So maybe we're doing something like that now. And really try things out. For me right now, it's also experimenting. What's working, what's not working, like how do we sketch the shapes here. I feel like this frame works good. The flame here looks a little bit strange. Not sure how you see it, but this then I think works better. Yeah, and now we have these cool sparks here flying around and having interesting shapes. Cool. And now this shape here gets even more like that, even moving more to the top. Maybe like that. Now we have this here super long, this longer. And I'm going back and forth, of course, to observe also what's happening with our background shape here. Maybe we have shapes like this now in the background. Looks okay. I'm not 100% happy right now, but it's okay for this stage here. Cool, cool, cool. And now we have this other shape here that is evolving. I mean, of course, there are a couple of shapes you could work over. But I mean, it looks like fire, I would say. Or it definitely has a feeling of fire. I like this, like the fire, and then it's expanding on the ground. It's something yeah, to memorize for the future. So we could check that out. Cool. Let's see what's happening more here. So the flame is expanding even more. The flame is expanding even more. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. And now, yeah, you have these shapes here even going more to the outside. Like that. Cool. And now you have these in the middle. Moving more to the right. Interesting. Now we're doing something like this. Whoosh. And then the thing we could experiment, like to go in a couple of these shapes. And let's say we want to make them look a little bit cooler here. Let's see how that would work. I think that's good. I don't like the last change. All right. And then we have this movement here. And I would even say I make like a new animation just for this one here. So we have this one here. And what we can learn is really this, if I'm sketching in here, is how the flame here expands a little bit like squash and stretch from a bouncing ball, and then expands here, and then we have this middle part that is a little bit more free, and the sparks here that flying around, and the flame here that goes more on top. I think that's a super cool takeaway for future flame animations. Cool. So let's create a new one here. And again, if you have any question, let me know. Paper. Change our paper. A little bit darker. And now let's do this one here. Where we have this flame movement here. So maybe we're starting here super simple like that. Go a couple frames forward. Maybe like this now. Move it a little bit here. Cool. And then we get this here. Maybe we have to bring that even here. And let's see. Maybe with sketching in that thing here. Yeah, we have to do that like that. And here, like that. So like this little, like how it's called in English, like this fire stick, like you don't have to scratch it properly out. But I think in this frame to have it, it's not a bad idea, like to have it inside. Hello Hers, damn I came late. Are you animating in twos or ones? So right now I have everything on ones, but it's not so important. I would say like if I want to play it properly out, I would place it on twos. But we're focusing more right now on the animation itself. Just a little bit the recap what we've did so far. This was a little study from yesterday. And I like also just to go like manually frame by frame through it and play a little bit yourself with the speed. But yeah, if you want to play it out and have it properly, I would place it a little bit more on twos. But for now, I'm just sticking to ones. It's okay. And then if I would play a little bit with the timing, I would adjust it and place on twos or mix from one and twos. Okay, let's see how this one will turn out. Where this fire flame will be a little bit lighted up here. I like the motion here and the thing that is happening. Let's see if we can make it believable. I think this can be a little bit challenging maybe, but let's see. So maybe this one here goes here like that. And now the fire goes here like that. Let's see if this works. Cool. And now we have that beautiful curve here that is occurring. Like that. Like flame shapes look so interesting. Super fun to see. And I think we would have to add a couple of sparks here. So, because we simplify it right now a lot, so you understand a little bit better that it's fire, fireball. So I would just, maybe if it's like only a couple, I think this gives already a good feeling. And then maybe even carve in like these more fire shapes. Even if it doesn't look like that in the reference, I think a little bit, yeah, adjusting it a little bit can be helpful. But yeah, see how much you want to then change the shapes. I think maybe just a little bit is helpful in this situation here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Like that maybe. I like this one already. And again, I'm not sketching like every frame. I'm skipping a couple. Like if you would sketch every frame, you would sit here like 8 hours later still and animating your fire. So just skip a couple of frames, no problem. Just don't skip too many. So especially like with your study, it's still understandable what you're doing. But I think that's a principle, like for everything in animation, to just have the right amounts of key drawings. And I think the more you animate, the better you get a feeling on how many frames you actually need to animate the thing you want to animate, wisdom of the day. But like then sometimes even I think adding only more frames doesn't make the animation look better. Yeah. But of course depends also on the style. Okay, let's sketch the next frame here. Now this is falling down here. Maybe like that. And now we have even that more curved shape here. Like that. Fireball. Like I just want to animate a character who's throwing a fireball or something. I have to do that at some point. I'm taking the liberty to change the shape here a little bit. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Fun already, I have to say. And let's again add a couple more sparks here for this tiny accent. I think that helps. And it's a little bit, I'm not sure like if you ever animated like a waving flag. A lot of the principles you learn when animating a waving flag or like a rope or something, you can then apply to animating smoke, lightning, fire. So like this principle of curves and how curves behave. And for example, you have like this here, then it's getting to this shape, and then to this shape. So you have a lot of these principles with in a lot of different movement, like this mixture of S curve and C curves. It's also here like S curve, longer S curve here, and then probably a C curve would look good. Cool, 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 cool. So maybe now you have the C curve here, as you can see. So yeah, this already you can find it in a lot of different things you want to animate. I like that. Like you can a little bit recycle your knowledge. You can call it like that. You don't have to do everything every time, everything different. Um, I mean, there's so much to learn. Sometimes that's also like a little refresher. Okay, now this shape goes here, a little bit more here. Maybe like that. Like that here, tiny sparks again. Maybe this now moves more down here. And then we have this one here, moving here. Yeah, looks good. Cool. And the next one, like the stick moves even more up here. Like that. This flame here moves also up. And this one moves more here. And I would say you can already go in here. You're not happy with one placement. Maybe change it a little bit like that. And see, okay, now the flow's better. Maybe it's too far to the right. So go again in here and say, okay, maybe a little bit more here. Maybe this is okay for now. And again, a couple of sparks here. So just going in and carving a little bit this fire shape here better out. And adding a couple of sparks here, I think that helps a little bit here. Even if we don't have that now in the reference, the learning from the other, like the study we just did before, I feel like a couple of these sparks help a little bit to sell the motion here of the fire. And maybe we have a flame even going here on top. Yeah, looks good. Let's see how things continue here. And yeah, I would say, of course, we could like just animate it longer. Yeah. First writing, by the way, thanks for your live stream. They help quite a lot because I'm awfully new to animation. Super cool to hear. Thanks for that. Yeah, happy to hear that, that it's helping. I mean, every one of us was at some point new to animation. And like you can see, there's always something new to learn, something new to explore. So yeah, cool that you're joining the stream. If you have any question, let me know. Or any topic in the future you'd like me to cover or where I could maybe help. Yeah. But I like this animation here. I mean, another thing we could do now before ending this animation here, maybe, I mean, we had this one here, and then we have this one. We could go in here and also add here a little bit of our color. Make it a little bit more like that, a little bit more red. Let's see what is too much, what is okay, maybe like that. And now again, make every of your layers lock in the transparency. So what does that mean? Confusing, but it just means that if I want to paint in here, I only can't paint on the shapes that are already established or sketched in. I can't paint here, I can paint here, I only can paint here. And that's convenient if we just want to add a little bit of shadow here. Or like in this, yeah, you could call it shadow, you could call it heat in this case here. Yeah, but this gives your flame animation a little bit that extra kick. And I mean, if you look closely, like you have the brightest part here almost white like here, then a little bit more yellow here, and then red, and you could even add something like that, where you mimic a little bit that style, where you make it the brightest or more white in the middle. Maybe even more. So you have really that flame look here. Maybe that's too strong even. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe like that. So, and with that you get a little bit more the fire look. But establishing the shapes first is, I think, a little bit more helpful. And then things here start to expand. We're going again in here and now adding like these beautiful colors here. These beautiful colors. The next one here, maybe, where are we? Maybe here now. And for the shapes, always just stick like to these, like how do you describe them? But yes, zigzag shape, like hard lines combined sometimes with a little curve. I think with that you get a good look on how fire looks like. And now let's make the last changes here before we're ending our session for today. But yeah, I think it's fun. And now here, same principle, just go in here, add your more bright white shapes first, like that. Cool. And then again your red shapes here. Maybe make even this one red here. And then check your reference, what's happening. It's still white here or not. Maybe like that. And a couple more of red accents here. Cool. Cool. And yeah, it's a little bit like you can relax a little bit more when animating stuff like that here. Because you don't have to think so much about perspective right now. A little bit more fun in terms of, yeah, playing with different kind of shapes and how they can look like. And now here, let's see, like that. And yeah, the lasso tool is convenient to get quickly the shapes you want. Cool. I think it looks good. And then the thing that we could, of course, still add is like that the fire then slowly disappears. I think that's not wrong. So you're just sketching in last marks here of your flame. So it's disappearing slowly. And like that. And with then, like, you have this fun flame animation. I like the rhythm. Now it's animatic on ones, but of course you could play to bid it on twos. Let's see again the reference. This is our reference. And this is how it looks if we play it. Super fun. Learned a lot. So this is super cool practice to maybe mix in, even if you have a specific focus point. I think at any stage of when learning animation, you could mix in learning how to animate a waving flag, how to animate smoke, fire, water. Play a little bit with it. Lightning also. Yeah. Cool. And what's important is like I said, like these zigzag shapes, then mixed a little bit with curve, try to maintain a little bit that mixer of that aggressive look from fire, but also like the beautiful dynamic you have it with the round shapes. And then, yeah, do different studies, like study from animated shows like we did here, where you have fear flame animation, but look also on like real reference and see how flame looks there. And then also adapt a little bit the shapes. For example, we have had this shape here as a reference that is a little bit more clean, but we added a little bit these zigzag shapes and carved a little bit in the flame look to, yeah, in this simplified version of a flame animation. To have it still work. And then, of course, I mean, you have a lot of this glow here. You could then already always go in here with a brush and also add that glow. If you make your brush a little bit more soft, you could just add that in. So you don't only have to work like with hard shapes, but I feel like this is more a little bit extra stuff you could also then do with After Effects, for example. But I think the beginning is understanding the motion. Then also you have these S curves here. Like you can see here, let me sketch it again. Like you have this S curve here, S, and then it's transforming here. Again, change my layers here so I can sketch in the S curve here, then this longer or elongated S curve, and then it becomes to a C curve here, like, but in that direction. And here you have a C curve in that direction. And that's essential also when animating fire, to have that play a little bit from like S curve to C curve also. And then, yeah, you want to have the transition that the fire goes out. You just let it continue in one direction and sketch the flame less and less until it disappears. Cool. Super fun. And then, of course, at the end, you could render it where, for example, you add here in the middle the brightest part, then you have your base color, and then a little bit the red color. Mimicking a little bit the heat or the shadow. With that, you can render it a little bit at the end. Yeah, this one was this one. Then we had this one where the flame here is falling down. We didn't render it, but I would say, of course, with this one, we could play a little bit more with the shapes by itself to make them a little bit more appealing. But I feel like the motion in itself looks cool. So you have something falling down and then expanding on the ground. Then we have this one here where the flame comes here from the side and like is moving like in a circular movement. Also fun animation. So yeah, do your studies. And then we have this one from yesterday. That's a little bit more like an explosion. And that's also interesting to see. Like, how is fire behaving in terms more, if you have an explosion, often then you have also smoke that is followed by the explosion. So we can also explore that in the future. Super cool. With that, thanks for watching, everyone. A little bit more than an hour, but I think we covered a lot. I hope you learned a little bit. If you have any more question, let me know in the comments or write me on my socials or everywhere. Hope to answer them. And I also want to, like, if you have a question, I can answer it in a future stream and take a little bit more time and not only responding by a comment. But yeah, cool that who joined, everyone. Super happy that I had the time again to stream today and animate. Cool session, learned more. Can't wait to learn even more about fire animation in the future. And with that, I wish you a great day and see you in the next stream. Thanks for watching. Bye.